This video is sponsored by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. Also, shout out to Monster Art for making this awesome thumbnail art. Check them out, links down below. Okay, and last thing, I have a Discord that is now available for everybody, so if you want to join it, links are down below. The Discord links are down below. Okay, that's it. Let's start the video. You know, after making videos about the characters of Apex Legends, you realize that there's this lore behind the game. A lore that makes absolutely no sense. Some of these characters' motives behind going into this game are not really explained that well. Some characters are clearly criminals, while others are cheating because they know everything about the game. I'm talking about you, Watson. It seems unfair that you can play in this big game and have an advantage by knowing exactly what the layout would be. It'd be like if Katniss from Hunger Games knew exactly where everything was gonna be. That's just cheating. That's cheating. Now, before you guys come at me and say, Macro is just a game, relax. We've done this time and time again. You know it's not just a game. This is real life we're talking about. This is life. So I asked you guys on Twitter what you thought made no sense, and you guys came back with some glorious answers. So here are the best ones. Start the intro. Cliff made a good point when he says, Lifeline makes no sense. She has an impenetrable barrier she uses when rezzing people, but then just puts it away. When the shield is so strong, why can't I use it all the time? This is a valid point. Before you come at me and say, Macro, come on, it's for game balance, just think about it logically. You have this shield that you only use when resurrecting your teammates when you could clearly just have it up non-stop. It's essentially like a mini Gibraltar shield, but here's my theory. Maybe Lifeline's robot isn't actually controlled by Lifeline and has a mind of its own. You can see this in some of the little emotes they do. The robot clearly is its own person, and it just doesn't want to protect Lifeline like that. It low-key wants to see her die. But that's just a theory. Again! Moha8684 says, when a player revives Pathfinder, they use a syringe on a robot. A syringe, by definition, has to go into our veins. I'm not sure if there's actually in the definition of a syringe, but regardless, if you're gonna put a syringe in somebody, they have to have some type of blood vessels or veins to, actually go inside. So are syringes electrical? And if that's the case, how would they work on humans? Or better yet, does that mean Pathfinder is human? And if he's a human, then he's not looking for his creator, he's just looking for his dad. David Siegel says, it's okay, I'll just play the rest of this game with these broken ankles from all the fall Oh wait. There is no fall damage. Now let's think about it this way. At least in this scenario, there's never fall damage. So let's just assume maybe the gravity works differently on this different planet. That's fair. That's fair to assume. But if that was the case, why do they even need jetpacks at all? Why don't they just fall straight down? So in this world, you clearly do need jetpacks to safely land, but there is no fall damage. It's sort of a contradiction in design. My theory? There was supposed to be fall damage, but one of the developers forgot to put it in, and now they can't go back because they're in too deep and people love it this way. I'm just hoping that on April Fools, they add in fall damage to just bamboozle everybody. It's Just Devin asks, so how does Caustic poison Bloodhound when they have gas masks?
Here, let me run through it. Why are you taking damage from it?
Okay, you think that's weird? Jacob Sloan points out that Pathfinder, a robot, can be harmed by Caustic's gas. Woo! So, I'm going to try to solve this as much as possible in two ways. One, we already established that Pathfinder is a human being, so that's why he gets hurt by the gas. Secondly, if you guys ever watched my original Overwatch Makes No Sense videos, you'll know that sometimes you just wear masks for the style. The gas mask is just part of the Yeezy 2018 collection, and that's what Bloodhound and Octane do. It's all just for the look, baby. Griffin Meissner asks, how do the legends always come back after each game in the dropship? Are they clones, or is the game just a big simulation? Is the world just a simulation? Are we simulations? Okay, we're getting a little too off topic. This is what I was talking about earlier. The lore makes no sense, because for the most part, it sounds like these games happen all the time, which means that murder is basically allowed. And if that's the case, then cloning is probably really advanced and legal. So I think that this entire tournament is just a bunch of tournament of clones, which is kind of dark when you think about it. Brendan Schmenden wonders, what about the poor Leviathans? Do they just sit in the storm? Or do they not take storm damage? Or are they controlling the storm and trying to kill all of us? What if the Leviathans run the games? He's on to us! OG Master Yoshi says, the dragons don't get hungry for players. Yes they are. They're always carrying loot boxes of people. Why would they do that? It's because they just killed the player that the loot box has. It's a very simple explanation. I don't see why you couldn't see that yourselves. Moving on. The lazy dude says, Octane be like, let me just use some drugs for the 1 billionth time without dying. So a lot of people on Twitter were trying to explain that essentially he's so used to it, or it's part of like his entire equipment set and stuff, but I don't know. I feel like eventually you're gonna overdose on this octane juice stuff, which is why you guys really need to listen to Dare. Drugs are really evil. This is why Dare worked. Yup says Apex makes no sense because there's no default dance and it makes him sad. I agree, except there's one thing wrong with this. There is a default dance. Sharpie says, you turn into a box when you die. It's so unrealistic. I know, right? Like, where'd the body go? Could you imagine if this is how it was in real life? Like, imagine I'm shooting someone like this. Wow, what could be in here? Got your syringes. What's this? That is a perfect segue into our first ever sponsor on this channel, Squarespace. Squarespace is the easy to use website builder for any type of website you want to have. Whether you're running a restaurant, creating a business, creating music, or just want to blog, Squarespace is the perfect tool for all you noobs out there that have never learned how to code in their life. It is extremely easy to use, and there are plenty of templates to work with, but you can also just mess around and come up with whatever you'd like. So go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/macro to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Now, back to the video. Thank you guys for watching, and go ahead and leave in the comments what you think makes absolutely no sense about Apex Legends, and maybe I'll make a sequel, we'll see. It's really up to you guys. And thank you to Squarespace once again for sponsoring this video. Okay, I'll catch you guys later. I'm out.